Hey guys, and welcome to Friday Morning Inspo. I'm actually recording this on Thursday evening, and I wanted to do a different episode this week, and just by accident kind of fell into what I'm going to talk about right now, which I think is a little bit more important. So I really want to talk about our previous lives that we've lived, previous people that we've been, parts that we've played in our entire storied life. And for some reason tonight, I was like, I've really got to update my personal website. I know it sounds really exciting life I live over here. But I had just gotten new headshots done for my therapy practice. And I was thinking about the headshots that I have for my professional life with acting and singing and all of that. And I just got them done last year. So they're barely a year old. And I was like, I've never updated my website. I know this is so riveting. Just hang with me. So I'm updating things. And I see this music video that I shot 100 years ago when I had my first album, Jackie Brubaker and the Ex-Boyfriends. And fun fact, most of those guys really were my ex-boyfriends, almost all of them. Not quite all of them, but some of them. And that's actually how the band became a band and by band, I say that loosely. I hired them to play and record, but I just hired them over and over again, so it kind of felt like a band. But one of my band members, who was my ex-boyfriend, was like, you always hire your ex-boyfriends. It's Jackie Brubaker and the Ex-Boyfriends. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, now, I see this music video. I shot it, I was so young. And I haven't watched it in years. So I thought, okay, let me just watch it real quick. I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't know if you guys have done this. And I know you have. I know some of you have. You've looked at old pictures, old video of yourself from another lifetime ago. When I was in the music industry, it was so long ago now. It was at least 11 years ago, which a lot has happened in 11 years. And I start watching the video play on YouTube, which is adorable. If you want to go see it, just put in my name and party dress and I'll show up. Hopefully nothing else shows up. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I'm watching the video and I'm like, oh, she's so cute. She's so young. Look at that little baby. But the more I watch it, the more I feel as if I'm watching almost like my daughter, almost like my younger sister. And it's my younger self. And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking about how many, thoughts I had about my hair, my weight, my face, my everything, anything and everything. Some of the things I really liked, some of the things I didn't really like. But I really feel like right now I actually saw her for who she was. And by her, I mean myself, just in case that got a little confusing. And what was so beautiful is that I think I really got a true outsider's perspective of who I was, what I looked like to an outsider. It may have just been for the moment. I may watch it again and that moment may just fly away. But watching my younger self, and by the way, as a therapist, this is something that I work on with clients all the time, is finding your younger parts of yourself and different ages and, talking with them and healing things that way with your present adult self to this younger self. And so I'm looking at this girl, sweet girl in her 20s, and I'm just like, you're so cool. You're so cool and so edgy and look at you, dressing like a 1950s, kind of pinup housewife, and even the storyline of the video and the storyline of the song, I don't think I had a very clear idea of what I wanted it to be. And really didn't make sense to me at the time. But now when I watched it, I'm like, oh my God, this totally makes sense. So just to give you a little bit of background on the song, story, she gets stood up and she's all dressed up, ready to go out with, a guy on Friday night. She gets stood up and she's like, I'm home on a Friday night. I should be, out seeing like, the world, et cetera, et cetera. And instead she's like, well, what if I like, I don't know, had a couple of guys who were fawning over me, Mr. Guy who stood me up, like, and that's what the rest of the video looks like, is her getting fought over by a couple of really cute guys that are like super into her, of course, from her band. I mean, it's full circle. But man, I never actually saw it that way. Maybe everybody else did, but sometimes it's like you're too close. It's the forest for the trees. And so I didn't really see it until right now. And I was like, this is funny. This is really funny and cute. But I was like, I loved, and now, you know what? I'm not even going to fucking apologize for this. I loved who I was at that time. I may not have liked myself at that time, but man, when I look at her now, I love her. She's so cool. She's so edgy. I know I've already said that, but she was. And I'm so proud that I got to be her, that I got to be this like badass girl who sang in all of the clubs in LA, like the major clubs in LA, that was signed to a label, that had a publishing deal. Like, seriously? Wow. And I think sometimes too, we do cool shit and then life just keeps going, right? And then you just like forget about it. Or, maybe it doesn't even register that it's that cool when you're doing it because, you're just doing stuff and it's just happening. And then you look back and you're like, wow, that was really cool. Good for me. Honestly, I do think there's part of that to this, but mostly I truly am like seeing like what a rebel I was, what a weirdo I was. Like no one was really doing what I was doing aesthetically. There was a few people, I'm not gonna lie, there was some Amy Winehouse kind of vibes there, but I wasn't trying to copy Amy Winehouse. She was amazing and I loved her, but I was never like ever trying to copy her. I just love the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, so as do quite a few people, and it's an amazing music genre. But yeah, it's cool when you can actually see yourself for who you are. And I think so much of our healing when we get older is being able to look back and really hope that we can see ourselves for who we were instead of beating ourselves up for the coulda, woulda, shouldas, which, by the way, that was the song title from one of the songs on my second album. If you want to go listen to that one, it's called Home. Just put in my name again. I'll pop right up. And it's all of the what ifs. It's all of the coulda, woulda, shouldas. It's all of the, wow, I wish I had been thinner. I wish I would have been prettier. I wish I would have been more successful. I would have done this or I would have done that. And all of the what ifs. And you know what? It really is true. The saying is just don't have regrets. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Everything really does happen the way it's supposed to. And mind you, some of that shit is hard and awful and tragic. But some of it we don't even realize is so great. And we were so great. I do remember my 20s during this time in particular. I felt super invisible in parts of my life. I felt really silenced and really pushed down and really insignificant in my work life. And I really let everybody else shine. But I was trying so desperately to have my own shine and to have my own musical career. And I didn't feel that I got a lot of acknowledgement from certain people in my life. And it was really hard because I felt like this, the monkey with the cymbals. It's like, dancing around and like you have to wind them up. And then, anyway, if anyone gets it, if anyone watched The Phantom of the Opera, they know what I'm talking about. But I felt like that. I felt like a dancing monkey. And I felt like I was never enough. Cue childhood trauma. It's cool. I'm good now. I love how there was like a little beep in the background. Just nice confirmation. Thank you. And like, the truth is, I really think about everything that I did, that I think I did so much unconsciously. Of course, for validation, of course, to prove to myself that I was enough, of course, to get more validation. And like, obviously, like, I am grown. I don't need all of that kind of everybody needs to be validated, but I don't need that kind of validation. I don't need to work that hard, which is so nice to live in in my own little world, where I'm like, yeah, I'd like to enjoy life now. I'd really like to just enjoy being a human being, having human experiences that don't involve winning more awards. And don't get me wrong, I will win more awards because that's who I am. But I don't need to, whereas then I did. I needed it. So I ask you guys today, if you have a part of your life, your 20s, your teens, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, whatever it is, that you feel may have gotten robbed from you because you didn't like who you were, you didn't like the circumstance you were in, it's a time that you'd rather not even think about, or anything like that. Or maybe it was a time that you were actually really, doing great, that you haven't looked at video or pictures of yourself in a really long time. Oh gosh, if you have video, that is priceless. I really, really challenge you to go check it out. Go see if you can see yourself truly from an outside perspective. Because the moment that you do, and by the way, this is the first time I've ever felt it this strong. And I don't know if that's just healing or who knows, right? But I'm just grateful. But when you're able to really, really see yourself, there is this love. And if you feel that love and that forgiveness and that empathy and that just, oh my God, it really is just love for that version of yourself, that part of yourself. Put your hand on your heart, close your eyes, and tell yourself, if you're able to, that you love them. You love him. You love her. You love them. And that you're so proud that you got to be in that version of yourself at that time. No matter how complicated or stupid you were or whatever it was. Maybe you thought you were the best. And now you look back and you're like, oh my God, I was just in so much pain. I wasn't the best. I was just wanting to be the best. Who knows? There's so many variations of this. But really take a moment to see what comes up for you. If you're able to have that connection of, wow, I really see myself. Just let that part of yourself know how much you love them and how grateful you are for them. And it really does feel like we get to be the parent of all of these different parts of ourselves. I mean, I've got plenty of children that way, I guess. Therapists will get it. Never mind. Anyway, I hope this made a little sense. I hope this gave you an interesting peek into yourself. And thank you for listening to my little peek into myself. I'm really going to go journal on this. Make sure you journal about it too if you do it. All right, you guys, I will see you next week.